Na 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 keeps rolling on.
I must tell you this story because if we go back to the early
I've done.
70s, 71, 72, they only had one TV channel in Sweden at that time, SVT1. The biggest show of any, millions and millions of viewers, was a program called Hylands Hörna. Hyland is the guy's name, the corner, the Lennart Hylands corner talk show kind of thing. And I'd send in a tape to the production team behind the show, and I was different. I was no different from hundreds of Scottish troubadours or folk singers or whatever. But I'd come through a hard school, and I knew how to entertain an audience. I could get the audience in my hand. And I'd written a few of my own songs, and I'd sent them into to the production crew. And wow, it came through. They want you next Saturday or 2 Saturdays. They want you to come and sing 2 songs. Wow, fantastic!
Wow.
Fantastic. The best. I mean, it's like being, on the Eurovision Song Contest 10 times fold. And so this is fantastic. And a little interesting thing is that there was a big stage. It's a live show. And there's a big red curtain behind him, and he asks you to come out. When it's your turn, he asks you, he presents you, and you come out. Only problem is, behind there, this Saturday, there's like 8 or 10 different acts, and there's only room for like 3 or 4 acts. And I'm going, wait a minute, and time's going, and he's blaring away, and I'm not asked out, so I don't get on the show. And I thought, gee, I've told all my gigs, places, and I'm going to be on this show, and I wasn't. But he did say, come back next week and I'll guarantee you're on the show. So I come back the next week, and there's a rehearsal with a band, and I've written 2 songs. One's called Here Comes the Light, and one's called Too Young, right? And I've got another couple of songs in there. So the rehearsals, the whole crowd's there, I get out there, and I do this call and response thing that I call. So we've rehearsed with the band. It's a boogie type, simple song. Here comes the light. And I get the crowd to answer, here comes the light. So I say to them, in Swedish, by the way, but just sing after me. When I sing, you sing, right?
Yeah.
The song's halfway through the song. I've got them all standing on their feet. I've got them all going like this. Here comes the light. Here comes the light. Here comes the light. And it's a do, 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 do. And the band are loving it. The saxophones are going, wow. I get a standing ovation. I think, wow, this is fantastic. This is going to go a bomb. Wow, great. So, and then I sing my other song, which is kind of mid-tempo song. Not as audience friendly as the first one, but still I can sing a bit better now. So anyway, I get off, and Mr. Hyland, he's the most famous guy in Sweden. He is like the king, and then it's Lennart Hyland. He takes me to one side and he says, listen, you wee Scottish git. He says, there's one person in this studio that's allowed to work with the audience, and you're looking at him. It's me. So you're going to sing, we've said, told people that you're going to go, but you change the 2 songs. You don't sing them. You will sing 2 ballads. I'm going, okay, Mr. Hyland, I mean, what do you say? It's better than so. So anyway, I'm from Drumchapel, right? So when he introduces me and there's a blah, 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 I get up then, he says, and he introduces his song. And now we're going to hear John singing, Too Young or Tell the World or whatever the song, I don't even remember the song, right? And I look at the band and I go, there you go. Here comes the light. And it goes down a fucking bomb. It goes down a bomb.
Musikaliteter av olika slag ska vi ha.
Här kommer jag. Här kommer jag. Det vill jag dansa med tills natten blir till dag. Här kommer jag. Här kommer jag.
So that after the show, I had two of the biggest record labels in Sweden. They called me and said, "We want to record that song. We want to do a deal, a couple of singles and like that," which I did. And there's I don't remember what it's called in English, but it's called the European kind of top pop. It went through Luxembourg. You had like 10 different cities at the same time. It was on Radio Luxembourg and Radio 1 in London.
Oh, long wave, transatlantic long wave. It was like yeah, and I know the one you're talking about. Yeah.
And I competed for Sweden with Here Comes the Light and won. So it was number one in the European top of the pop kind of thing for the radio, which was my breakthrough. After that, I could get better money. I was getting gigs all the time. I moved to Gothenburg. I was trying to do some studies, but I was gigging so much. I was gigging like the Ambassador Hotel in Stockholm. They didn't want you for one night. They wanted you for the month. So it was 30 gigs. You do 30 gigs. Yeah. So,
it's incredible. I mean, once you've done that kind of show and you've got Here Comes the Light, I mean, it is, are you thinking at this point 100% music, or are you still doing graft at the side? Are you still sort of working, sort of trying to make ends meet, or day jobs and things like that, or are you just completely 100% music?
I'd say my heart, my head, everything was with music. I started to really focus. I've been writing songs, but now I'm starting thinking about, I'm in Sweden. What kind of music, like Here Comes the Light, what kind of music it works for the Swedes? And there was no doubt about this. I'm very generalizing here now, but through my whole career in Sweden, you can still meet a lot of Swedish producers today. Lyrics don't give a shit. You can sing anything you want. It's the music, it's the production, it's not that. I thought exactly the opposite. I thought, right, okay, what beat because there's something in Sweden called the folk parks, and they're in summertime, and they're just like open venues, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000 people, and they'll have a dance band, playing the old kind of Jerry Lee Lewis kind of, songs, and there'll be a show and all that. And I worked it out and said, now, wait a minute, here. The Swedes love 126 BPM. They love 126 BPM. So I'm now going to write 3 or 4 songs that go in 126 BPM. There will be lots of chance for them to really simple hooks, for them to catch on. First time they hear the song, it'll be 126 BPM, and it'll be a lyric that's very simple, And the amazing thing about that is, now we jump way forward, is I had exactly the same thought when I was working with Ace of Base and wrote It's a Beautiful Life.
Oh, it's a beautiful life. Oh, oh, it's a beautiful life. Oh, oh, it's a beautiful life. Oh, oh, I just wanna be here beside you.
How simple can it be? It's got to work in every country in the world. It's a beautiful life. Beautiful. Everybody is beautiful in life, right? And no, let's not have a serious line after that. So we'll just do, I mean, how simple can it get? So it's like Here Comes the Light, but it's a beautiful life. Oh, it's a beautiful life. Oh, it's the same thing. You know?
So I mean, before we get into the kind of Ace of Basey things and all, I mean, at that point then, when did it become serious to a point where I know that you did your first solo album, for an example. I mean, was that in connection with that television show, Here Comes the Light? Here's the thing. Was that the next stage then? Was the album?
Indirectly, it was. There was I don't know if you know about that, but there was, just prior to me deciding I'm going to go full time and do everything in Sweden. Then I did actually have a year at PWL in London, Peter Waterman. I had a manager. Went to be there. I was there for 11 months. I worked on the night shift for 11 months. The studios were fantastic. The whole set. I mean, he had Dead or Alive, Banana Run, everybody was going there, and it was fun. And a funny story there is my audition to get my manager standing there, Billy Royal, and I'm standing there, and there's Peter Waterman and Mike, the different people there. And Peter Waterman said to you, so this is this guy here, he's living in Sweden, he's a great songwriter and artist, blah, 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 blah. We'd like to get you to sign him, if for a writer or whatever you want. And he said to me, hello, son, how you doing? Do you write songs then? Yeah. He says, what's the song you're working on at the moment? And I said, well, actually, I'm working on a wee song. It's called In the Middle of the Night. And he said, well, he's got a Ferrari in the hall of the studio, a Formula One car. And he's kind of sitting on it. He says, right, sing it. And I'm going, I don't know my guitar. I don't have anything. Come on, sing. If you're that good, sing it, he says. Okay. And I sang. I did. Middle of the night, it's the middle of the night, the middle of the light, and I'm hypnotized. Yeah, we'll feed 5, 4, fiddle it come. Look out, baby, now, 'cause here I come, and it's the middle of the night. Oh, that's right. Studio number 7, you're in an hour. That's what he said. That was my audition. Got in through that. Na 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 na. Na 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 na, na 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 na, keeps rolling on.